Good morning, everybody. Naima Singletary here, BillionDollarCourage.com. Today is Friday, June, I think it's the 23rd. 9 o'clock this morning, live on my website, became available to you 7 steps to break through fear and self-doubt. And I cannot express how important it is for you to acknowledge your fear and to break through them. Because you will remain where you are, in fear, trapped, stuck. And if you want next year to look better than this year, if you want tomorrow to look better than today, if you want to feel better tomorrow than you do today, you need to intentionally break through the clutter that has sabotaged you and has kept you where you are. One of the steps is community. And I know for a matter of fact that many people, their community is not supportive of their ideas. They shared an idea and their friend or their mom or their whoever said, "You're crazy," or "You're going to leave your job," or "What are you going to do for money?" or whatever the reason is. You've been doing this your whole life. How are you going to go do that? You need to create a new community. That's one of the steps that I talk about in the 7 steps to break through fear and self-doubt. If you are alone in your movement, as a matter of fact, there will be no movement oftentimes if you don't have a community because you're afraid. It's like, where am I going to go? Who's going to hold me? Your community will hold you. They will nurture you. They will listen to you. Another one of the steps is go do it. That is a surefire way to break through. You ever heard of the term ignorance on fire? Now, I know Jim Rohn, who I love, says ignorance is not bliss. But sometimes you need to just go. Because what happens is we get in our heads. And in our heads is where we have these self-defeating patterns that keep us where we are. So sometimes if you just jump out there without knowing the answer or where you're going or what you're doing, you'll get some kind of a hit, whether it's oh, that was a bad choice, maybe I need to try something else, or you'll get a message that says, oh my God, this really is as wonderful as I thought it was. You'll get some kind of a message that will then help you to make the decision toward what the next step should be. And you never want the fear to be the fuel of stopping you, because there's the fear that comes up and it stops you, right? But then there's the acknowledgement of okay, I'm afraid. Now I'm going to move forward in spite of it, as opposed to I'm going to stay right here because I'm afraid and I just don't know what's going to happen. So I want to share that with you. Go to BillionDollarCourage.com and download your free copy, 7 Steps to Break Through Fear and Self-Doubt. And also what I want to talk about is letting go. I've been listening to, and I've been really just morning and night. At night, I'm not watching TV. In the morning when I wake up, I got my earplugs and I'm listening to Ollie Brown's, what is it called? I want to give you the right title in case you want to go look for it yourself. Ollie Brown's the 7 phases to realizing your dreams. And what this is the different processes that we go through in stepping into our greater selves. And one thing that I listened to on the call this morning, and it was so visceral. It's like I felt it all the way down to the bottom of my spine, down to my butt. It was just so visceral that if you want to step into your higher self, you have to let go of your lower self. And see, the lower, God, the lower self is where we feel our fear, our anger, our frustrations, our lack, our judgment, our jealousy, our resentment, all those things that don't feel good to us, all the things that keep us in the place where we don't want to be. That's where our lower self is. And sometimes we are so much in a habit of behaving from that, of deciding from that, of living in that it's fearful to let go of that and step into our higher selves. And I am dealing with that all the time. And I just had such a breakthrough the other day. And I want to share it with you because it's so powerful. And I think it's a really good example of when you are moving in faith, moving toward your higher self, there will be combustion. There will be intense fear. There will be this explosion internally that will be where most people will stop because you won't understand it, especially if there's nobody around you going through it or you haven't been warned of this. And Ali talks about this in her 7 phases to realizing your dreams. So I was introduced to an internet marketer, an authenticity liver named Katie Freiling. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. Katie Freiling. And when I was introduced to her videos, the message inside of me was visceral and said, Naima, this is where you can be. This is your place. This is your time. You are ready. I felt that it was like unequivocally, without a doubt, I felt that it was intense and visceral. And there was a program, she has a program with a 7-week program where she teaches you how to live in your passion, find your true authentic voice and passion, and servicing those people who are your audience, right? Because there are people who will relate to you who will not relate to others, and there are people who will relate to others who will not relate to you. That's just the way it is. That's just how we are. And so this program is $1,000. And so I made the decision that I wasn't sure, right? It's like I didn't say yes, I didn't say no. I just was like indecisive. I wanted it, but I was like, man, $1,000. There was some uncomfortability with me and the $1,000. So I left it there. A few days later, I get an email from Ali Brown. I've been on Ali Brown's list for months now. And for whatever reason, I was led to be on this call of living in your divine self, aligning with your divine self and living from that to create power in your life and in other people's lives. So I signed up for the teleseminar. This call was 2 days ago. On that program, she talked about the 7 phases to realizing your dreams, the process, what happens to you, how to prepare yourself for that, understanding emotions and phases when you're stepping into your higher self, how to deal with it, and how to be better and live with that. I was moved to purchase that program. I purchased that program. It's an audio program. It's like seven audio programs plus a bonus. On the very first audio program that I listened to that night after I purchased it, I was on the couch in the dark with my earplugs in, listening to this audio program because I wanted to fully take it in. I didn't want the TV, I don't want the phone, I didn't want Facebook as like a background on my laptop. I wanted all distractions eliminated because I wanted to absorb this, because I've already trusted Ali based on what I've seen, what I've read, and by listening to her in other videos and other places. So during this video, I'm sorry, it wasn't a video, it was an audio. During this audio, there was the message that when you intentionally, when you take the step and you intentionally say, I am ready, I am not sure what the other side will look like, because there's a knowing. When you are hit with an anointing and there's a knowing, you know. But then a fear arises right next to that knowing and will oftentimes stop you right there. It's just too much. It's just too different from what I experience on a daily. And in that moment, when I had that knowing, there was a fear and this combustion happened. The combustion when you're on your way to stepping into your higher self. There was a combustion. I'm telling you, I cried and it was sobbing, like out loud, crying in a fetal position, just like, oh my God, like I have to make a decision. It's just like, oh God. It was just a knowing. And it was just like, it was almost like a frustration that I felt that, because now that you feel it, you don't go back from that. It was just like, okay, the decision has to be made. So I'm crying and I'm like the ugly cry Oprah talks about. And so that audio ended. I fell asleep during the audio. I woke up with such a peace over me. It was just like, I didn't even have to think about it anymore. It was just like, okay, the decision is made. And I went ahead and I registered for Katie's program. She has a three step, like three step, but three payments where you can make three payments of $367. So I registered for that. And I'm telling you, there was a no, I stepped into that with this confidence, with this knowing. I just knew, right? And so now I'm going to be working with Katie Freiling in the next 7 weeks, developing my passion and really tapping into that, living authentically so I can reach the people who are really waiting for me to show up. And so thank you for that. And that's what I mean by letting go and stepping into that. And that's why in the 7 steps to break through fears and self-doubt, I talk about the community, because Ali was a form of community for me. Katie was a form of community for me. Brenda Burchard, who I've also been reading in the last couple weeks, reading that has led up to building for me, being ready, that community. And Cynthia Mag, who's also in my community. Naomi, my housemate, is also a part of my community. These different people who I connect with intentionally, who are living on purpose, are a part of my community. So you have to, if you don't have that community of support, you have to intentionally seek out those people who will embrace you, who will support you, who will say, I am there too, or who will say, I have been there and this is what you need to do to find and create your own community, okay? So 2 things. One, go to BillionDollarCourage.com and download your free copy of Breaking Through Fear and Self-Doubt. 7 steps to break through fear and self-doubt. I am guaranteeing you that it will begin to change your paradigm and the way you view your insecurities, your community, the way you feel about yourself, the way you view other people in your life. And you will begin to make changes little by little, because sometimes you need little steps, and then there are times when those little steps get you ready for the big steps. That has happened in my life. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I feel like there was something else that I wanted you to do. I can't remember what the second thing was. Oh, go check out Ali Brown, ALIBROWN, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Specifically, if you're an entrepreneur, go check out Ali Brown, ALIBROWN, Ali Brown. You can Google her. You can check her out on Facebook. She has a fan page. So that is it for now. I'm also finalizing my 101 Courage quotes, which will be for sale on BillionDollarCourage.com very, very soon. So thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here and connect with you, and I look forward to a lifelong journey together. Naima Singletary, BillionDollarCourage.com. Bye-bye.